Hey guys, welcome back to Form Therapy. PD here. Today we're checking out the debut of a brand new girl group. Some extra hype behind this because this is the Black Label's first K-pop girl group. This is Meow by Meow, stylized as Me Ow Double V. I'm excited for this. Produced by Teddy of the Black Label. Let's see what we've got in store. I've seen no teasers. I don't know anything going into this, so we're going into this completely fresh.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Meow.
Okay, love the kick. Let me turn this up actually.
You up sun singing that chic. Now you speak French talking about we.
That's a clever line. Now you speaking French. We. Oh. Wow, everyone's vocals are great. Ooh, that was cool. Sounds like yow. Like meow, yow. Oh, okay.
Come on.
Oh, wow. That is a very hook and a kick heavy song. Oh, I like it. I will say they won me over. Initially, I think the initial meow, I thought, oh, is that a little too cheesy for me? Is that a little too cringe for me? But I think once we get into the post hook, especially how it then leads into the percussion in this song is absolutely insane. I think I love it. I think actually what I'm a little bit more intrigued by is the music video. It's not bad. It's rather bare bones. It actually feels like an introductory teaser. It feels like, did they drop a single for this? It feels like it's not a title track for a lead album. It definitely feels like either an introductory single song, like a pre-debut type of a song, but I saw this being marketed as a debut, and especially for it being titled Meow and being self-titled, it feels like a debut. but it feels more like it's kind of showing them off as a music video should do, right? But what you would expect more from a pre-release, kind of introducing you to the members and putting the members front and center rather than the concept of the song front and center. And maybe that's what Teddy is trying to do different with Meow. Maybe he is introducing a girl group where the girl group is the image, a little bit more groundedness, a little bit more authenticity in that way, rather than just going for song concept and the girls just making the concept or selling the concept to the best of their abilities, rather than making them K-pop idols, making them more like, I guess, a global group in that way. I think that's one of the things that separates Western music and global groups versus K-pop groups. I think K-pop groups ultimately work behind or around a concept. And I think that is also something like a K-pop group like Le Sserafim is doing differently. I think that's something that caught a lot of people's attentions last year or a couple years ago when they debuted, is that their concept was them, very authentically them. And take a global group like XG, for example. A lot of their sound is largely just, and their concept is, yeah, they're aliens and such, but still the concept is still rooted around them and their power. And I think maybe that is what Teddy is going for with Meow. Or this is a pre-release. Let me actually check if there's an album attached to this. Okay, there is not. So as I thought, it is very much a single. But I think depending on what concept Teddy is going for with this group, or the Black Label is going for with this group, I don't know if Teddy's like the main producer of the group. And I don't just mean in terms of the group's sound. I mean like the producer of the group, the mastermind behind the group's ideas and their concept. But if they're going for, and that's kind of what I'm getting from the music video, that this is about the individuals rather than feeling like a typical K-pop group. So the music video is pretty bare bones and raw in that way. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I actually think it's an interesting way to set yourself apart from most other groups. The way that it's shot is also very strangely different too. The way that it's color graded, it's a little bit more, it looks like Western commercial color grading, like Western commercial ads. It doesn't have the typical K-pop lighting, the typical K-pop color grading, the bright saturated colors. All the colors are pretty muted or in the more pastel range. Even like this ending portion where, not even the ending, we're like near the end. The section where they're just sitting on top of this cat and there's like wind blowing in their hair, it looks more like an advertisement for like some luxury brand. It feels way like that's what the marketing feels like with the color grading for the video. I do like how it's shot, like especially this scene, by the way. This scene looked like something straight out of like a fashion editorial. I actually really liked this section in is this a cafeteria? Yeah, it looks like a cafeteria. Some of my favorite shots. I really like how they shot this. I think this is a pretty interesting setup and scenario. The way they have, I don't know, where they're sitting on a roof, I guess, and they're shooting this on the open section of the roof, and they have a member in the center open aspect of the roof. It's an interesting way to show off the individual members, but I think even visually, even framing wise, it looks very, I think, large in scale, just the way they do it. And I think all the visual parallel lines just look way more interesting in this shot. So this is actually one of my favorite setups in the video. I know it looks very, I don't know, simple in concept, I guess, but the way that it's done and executed, and I don't know if it's pretty simple in concept, but I don't know if it's ever been done. Some of my favorite bits and shots, I think, is the first transition into the chorus. That is not it. That's not it either. Oh, it's around here. Oh, right here. Yeah, on the on-site right there. The lower angle shot, so then it makes the parallel lines look even more intimidating. I really like it. Also, vocally, they're all crazy. They're all crazy. I think, not to necessarily compare them to Blackpink. I'm only bringing up Blackpink because Teddy was a longtime producer of theirs. So used to the YG format and Teddy being one of the longest producers at YG, to having like that rose member, like each group having like this vocal powerhouse who like stands out and does like this flavorful stuff. But I feel like this group, almost every member, I didn't discern necessarily every single one, but at least in this intro portion, everyone was doing something really vocally tasty and interesting. By the way, this is actually, it's like one of the opening lines, but it's one of my favorite lines. Now you speak French talking about now you're speaking French talking about we. And there is something about even their attitude. There's something about the neck movement that I thought was, I don't know what the background is for most of these girls, but it doesn't seem Korean either. Seems very global / Western in that way. Even that attitude. Her vocals right there. The control, the vibrato, the build up right there. Try and match my energy. I think that's one of my favorite parts in the song. The tremble in her voice is crazy. And the way it all leads up into this fine. What even is this section with the weird Bigfoot Sasquatches? Even down to this last section, how they shot the color grading here. Also, it's got a bit more of a warmer tone color grading. Yeah, it very much looks more like a Western music video. Even deciding to shoot this dance section. Oof. Very few use of wide shots. There's like one with the close-up, but most of them are pretty mid to longer focal length lenses, which it kind of looks more like you're watching a concert. Looks a little bit more like a concert videography, music video, film look. It makes it look, I think, way more epic and cinematic in scope because of it. But it feels just like an introduction. I feel like if this is a debut title track, it's a bit more of kind of like a scratch, going for a soft punch where they're just introducing the group, getting you familiar with them. I do think the next follow-up release, especially given the fact that it's a single, it's not going to be that long. I think maybe within a month or two, there's going to be another follow-up music video release, and it's going to hit even heavier. I get the feeling Teddy kind of knows what he's doing and is masterminding these releases. And if that's the case, whether or not it is, I think it leaves a pretty dope impression. I think the entire music video has a pretty... It has a pretty empty, not even a desaturated look. I don't even know how quite even to describe the visual look of this music video. It's very memorable. Just the color tone palette. It's not necessarily You know what? I think it's that it's not necessarily it's desaturated. The girls themselves are pretty bold and they pop a lot. There's a strong contrast to them. They wear very bold colors. It's that the sets that they operate on are they just choose like very neutral, monotone, chromatic colors. Gray, silver, white. And rather than desaturating the video, they go for less bright colored sets so that the girls pop a little more. But then they also just lower the saturation just a little bit, add a little bit of a much more of a retro filmic grade to it so that it looks a little bit more expensive, a little luxurious. Like they themselves look a little bit more expensive and luxurious and they pop a little more against the much more neutral tone background. At least that's how it comes off to me. I like it. I think the music video is very interesting. I'll give the music video a solid 9. It's not my favorite thing, but that's not to say I don't dislike it. It's just certainly grabbed my interest. I think the song is a solid 10 out of 10. I really like it. I would have given the song somewhere between an 8 and a 9. Given the first meow, I was not into it. And then the yeah. And then also the outro. I'm a very drum, percussion, and kick heavy person. And I think even though Teddy and YG was typically known for that YG outro, they usually go very big, very boombastic, throw a lot into that final outro. He kind of did something similar, but it was way more stripped down and it was just all drums and kicks. And it gave it way more of a tribal thumping mindset. And I think with them just going dance heavy at the end, it left a very solid impression for me. And so I liked it. By the end, I was like, okay, this is a solid 10 out of 10. And I think it's very easy to listen to. It's very digestible. So I am looking forward to Meow's career and their next track. That's a very solid debut. That's a very solid it doesn't even feel like a debut. I do feel like it's actually a prelude. I feel like it's a pre-release, or even if it's not a pre-release, it definitely feels along that line. And Teddy is gearing up for something even bigger. And I think it's a great introduction for the group. So I'm going to pass the question off to you guys. What do you guys think of Meow's debut? What do you guys think of the song? I think my favorite bit is definitely the French line. I do like the comma bit with the ones, yens, and dollars, as well as that try and match my energy. The vocal tremble during that section is insanity. I don't know any of these girls' names, so I don't know who did that part, but she was cool. She was probably my favorite member, I think, even in terms of like a performer aspect, as well as the girl with the high ponytail at the end that the shot ends on. I think they were my favorites in terms of standout energy, as well as the girl in the I'm naming a lot of people, as well as the girl in the blue this girl. She had a lot of charisma, and this group has a lot of magnetism. I think like it's not just charisma. Like I think most idols are charismatic in general. There is something about them that feels very weighty, and I think it's because they also have the talent to back it up as well. So looking forward to their next release. Guys, if you enjoyed that reaction, if you want to tune in for more, you can go ahead and subscribe here, and you can check out my other reactions over here, and I will see you guys in another video. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.